From NBC News, this is Today with Katie Couric and Matt Lauer, live from Studio 1A.
Communicate up and down, inside and out. Deliver on promises and say thank you. These are part of the basic rules that author Stuart Levine calls the 6 fundamentals of success. Stuart Levine, good morning. Good to see you here.
Good morning to you.
So I'm browsing through this book last night, and my first reaction, to be completely honest, is this is so basic. And my second reaction was, but so many people I deal with in the workplace forget these basic rules.
Exactly. You know, in sports, there's a thing called muscle memory, where you repeat things to learn them. In golf, you know, you do that with some frequency. In life, you have to have that discipline to do the same.
So who's the book for? Is it for people who want to make a lot of money, who want to be successful, or just anyone who works in kind of a corporate atmosphere?
I think it's for anybody that wants to have a more productive and successful life.
You break it down into fundamentals, all right? Let's go through some of these. And the first fundamental is make sure you add value. What do you mean by that? Give me an example for the basic employee.
Basic employee, you want to understand your customer. As an example, if you work in a healthcare plan and you're a customer service representative, you want to, when you answer that phone, see that person and understand that they have needs and they're a family, people that are concerned about their health. So we want you to understand the needs of the customer and view it that way.
One of the things you put in as part of that section is to create your own performance dashboard and then get to know your boss's dashboard. Help me out here. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we see a lot of people get in trouble with their careers because their boss has certain expectations, Matt, and they've got 4 or 5 expectations on the boss's dashboard. And we want people to link their own dashboard so that they're in alignment with their boss so they can, in effect, hold themselves accountable.
So what basically you're operating on the same information, and the same information is important to you as it is to your boss.
Correct.
The next fundamental is communication. I mean, still, it's so basic and still a major problem in the workplace.
Right. We have a couple of rules that, number one, talk about cut to the chase. As an example, I was in a meeting about 2 weeks ago, and the boss wanted a 10-minute review of some operational plan. And the fellow came in with a 30-page PowerPoint presentation that was going to take 45 minutes.
So you're talking about my pet peeve, what should be a 5-minute conversation lasting 45 minutes.
Exactly. Cut to the chase.
And yet at some points you seem to contradict yourself a little bit because you say it's important for people to develop a rhythm and repeat themselves.
Yeah.
Say everything twice.
Yeah. If it's important, as an example, if you're in an operating theater, you want to say it twice. We're about to pass O-positive blood down. The nurse passes it so that you have some what I call communication redundancy. Matt, people don't hear things the first time, so it is really important to say it twice.
So when you say communicate up and down, in and out, what are you talking about in and out?
Yeah, we're talking about throughout the internal organization. If the internal organization doesn't understand the message, it's impossible to take it to the outside.
Next fundamental, number 3, is know how to deliver results. I mean, this sounds like a key to any successful business.
Right.
Give me a concrete example.
We go into companies and we see people do planning, and it's almost like watching people throw spaghetti up against the wall to see what will stick. A good plan really defines who has to be included, what type of communication plan has to be involved in. Ultimately, never sacrifice your initiative for the kings and queens of chaos, the people that say, I can't do it, we've done that before, and you don't want to sacrifice that energy.
How many times have you been in a corporate setting where you have a meeting and another meeting and another meeting talking about a plan, and then all of a sudden a month later you never hear about that plan anymore? They never come to fruition.
Right. Yeah, it's very frustrating, and that's where we live in implementation.
Let's talk about concept or fundamental number 4. Conduct your business with integrity. My opinion, if someone needs to read a book to learn that integrity is important in business, we're all in big trouble.
Well, I think certain parts of society are in trouble, but having said that, I believe integrity, people have to view it almost as if you have your own brand name. I mean, NBC has a brand name, but ultimately Matt Lauer has a brand name, I have a brand name, and we want people to understand that you have strength based on your own values. You increase your self-respect and your self-confidence by making sure you protect your brand name by your actions.
Yeah, but isn't there another problem is that in the past people have seen other people make a lot of money without a lot of integrity?
Yeah. I think those days are mercifully coming to an end. We're watching, I think, consumer confidence come back based on those reactions to those scandals, if you will.
Fundamental number 5 is invest in relationships. Give me an example of how someone in a workplace like here at NBC might invest in a relationship.
Number 1, if somebody really works hard, an intern, as an example, works hard or longer than they have to, make sure you say thank you. It's a fundamental to those relationships. View a radar screen as an air traffic controller would see on that green dial. As you see that sweep hand, there are different blips, and you want to make sure that you're touching people, not when you just need them, but throughout your day.
But so in other words, reward them when they do things right. What about disciplining and critiquing when they do things wrong? How does that come into the whole building a relationship thing?
Yeah, I think that if you have a good level of self-confidence and somebody misfires, one-on-one, you need to say, hey, gee whiz, that thing did not go the way we wanted or planned, and here's the way I do it next time.
The sixth and final fundamental we're going to talk about is gain perspective.
Yeah, that's very important. A lot of people in the last couple of years have had setbacks, and people have them all the time. It's the way you view a setback, ultimately, and does that setback make you stronger? I, as an example, was a New York State Assemblyman when I was 25 years old. I was terminated by 23,000 people, parenthetically. And you know, you make a decision whether you're going to be defined by outside sources. I was a Republican. We had that little Watergate deal, and I went down the tubes. But ultimately, I defined myself as a loving parent, a great spouse, and things like that. So people who've had setbacks need to embrace that.
It's always nice when people don't define themselves by their jobs.
Exactly.
There are a lot more important things in life. Stuart Levine, the book is called The 6 Fundamentals of Success. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I said thank you. See, that's one of the first fundamentals there.
See, you're trainable.
18 after the hour. Some would differ. We're back after these messages.